First of all, is this not the coolest shirt you've ever seen? I think it's the coolest shirt I know that I've ever seen. Hey, what's up? I'm Liz, this is Let's Say DIY, and this marks the second work in progress project vlog for the channel. The first one that was a bit impromptu got actually a lot of positive feedback. You guys seem to really enjoy it, so congratulations, you've now enabled me to make a new monthly series where I'm going to talk about what I'm working on. I'm going to place it at the beginning of the month. I know it seems like we just kind of chatted like this a little while ago. I'm going to put it at the beginning of the month so that I can kind of give you an idea of what's coming, and then as the month goes on, you'll hopefully see me follow through on what I'm saying I have planned. But let's get into the good stuff. First off, I just think, because this probably looks the most entertaining on the table, this ball of LED lights. What is happening? Well, it is October now, and everyone I think associates October with Halloween, and what else is happening this October is season 2 of Stranger Things. And if you've been sticking with the channel for a while, you know that I did a very popular project from last fall, a Stranger Things alphabet wall with the Christmas lights, which is very easy to do. And I'm going to be putting that back up again this year because for the season 2 premiere, I'm actually having a bunch of people over, and we're going to, the way it lines up with everyone's schedules is we're going to have to binge watch that entire season that night because we aren't going to be able to get together at the same time again for like weeks. So we watched the first season together, we need to watch second season together, and so we're gonna watch that night. So I'm gonna have the alphabet up, which actually last year it was kind of spooky to be watching it and having the letters light up and everything. But this year I'm adding to the project with these lights. There are 100 LEDs here. I know it doesn't probably look like it, it's so weird to have them all condensed. And again, an older project on the channel was the holiday LED matrix. These are actually the lights from that I had taped to the poster board. What I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna try to recreate another kind of LED thing from the first season where, if you remember Joyce, she has the lights on the ceiling and everything, and when the Demogorgon is close by, or Will, depending, the lights would kind of twinkle along to kind of lead people to a spot in the house. So I'm going to recreate that with these. I'm going to have them on the ceiling, and I'm going to coat it so that I'm going to have a sensor that when someone walks by, it will trigger the lights to go. I'm also going to have some random ones in there too to kind of freak people out. But so that's what these are for. So that's going to be another project video. I'm going to have that out the week that Stranger Things premieres, so the last week of October. And I'm really excited about this just because I think it's really going to freak people out. So next up, we've got a project that has a lot of parts. I think I mentioned in the last project vlog about a thermal camera for the Raspberry Pi. And so that I'm probably going to have out next week. I just ran into a supply issue that I just needed to order something really quick, and it's in the mail. So in case you missed it, what's going to happen is I'm going to make kind of like a Pi hat, which is similar to an Arduino shooter stuff where you're just like pushing in a circuit board to sit on top of the GPIO pins on the Raspberry Pi. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my own for the thermal camera module from Adafruit. So it sits right here, similar to a camera. And then this HDMI cable, which is a ribbon cable from Adafruit, you can get the cable and then the headers separately, so you can basically build your own custom HDMI cable. It's really cool. And then the back here, I'm going to have screen. So then I'm basically going to have a portable thermal camera with a Raspberry Pi. So the screen's right here. The only thing is, the screen's a little bit precarious right now because of all the different modules. This is also from Adafruit. I can link it down below. It's basically all like ribbon cable, so it's like really precarious. So everything's working, the screen, the camera, and everything. I tested it all separately on this table, including with the ribbon cable. So it's all set this weekend actually to have this project like be done for this week. But obviously I need to make the Pi hat, and I have the parts for that. This is the GPIO header that will sit on top. But what I didn't think of, and this was kind of like dumb, but I'm gonna need obviously a solder on both sides of the board that I'm gonna be putting on here, because the GPIO needs to sit like this on the bottom, and then the thermal camera needs to be on top. So you need two-sided perf board that has copper plating on both sides, so you can solder on both sides. And the perf board that I had, that you can see I kind of did like a rough cut on to size it up, only has copper plating on one side. So I was able to get some cheap boards on Amazon, and if they end up being any good, I'll link them down below when I finish up this project. But as soon as those come in, then I'll be able to solder it up and it'll be all set. But for the screen, you can probably see on my walls here and like my counter, I do counted cross stitch for fun, and for that obviously I need a lot of frames, so I have frames kind of like lying around because I buy them when they're on sale. And I had this one cheap one that was a 3.5 inch by 5 inch, and that is very, very close to the size of the screen. The screen is 5 inches by 3 inches, so I just have that ½ inch extra. I'd rather have more than less. I'm gonna stick the screen in here and all the stuff kind of in the extra space, and then mount that to the back of the Pi. So that's how that's gonna work, just because I don't really have another way to do it. But I think that'll make everything a lot more stable, because I also have the back of the frame that I can kind of cut through and make a little bit more solid. So that's how that's all gonna go together. So as soon as the board comes in, then I'll be able to get that all set. And that's another project that'll have a Hackster write-up, and the Stranger Things project too will have a Hackster write-up. Now, there's one more video that I'm really excited about that'll definitely be coming out like the beginning of the month. I actually don't have here today, but I do have a little bit of a story. And so you probably know about the SNES Classic hype beyond belief that happened for the release date of September 29th, a couple days ago. So I had really wanted an SNES Classic. I tried to get a pre-order, and I failed miserably. I had a couple false positives, which was really a bummer, but so I'd kind of given up hope, but then I had kind of decided I was gonna try on September 29th, either online or trying to get to a store early, like before work or something. So I had read a couple articles that like it was gonna go up at midnight, but they weren't sure if it was gonna be Eastern Standard Time or Pacific Time. So I stayed up till midnight. I'm on the East Coast, so Eastern Standard Time I wait. I have all my tabs open with all the sites it could be on and everything, and I start hitting refresh and nothing happens. And then it kind of becomes really clear, like, oh, it's gonna be midnight Pacific Time, which is 3 a.m. my time. So I was like, damn. So I weighed some pros and cons, you know? I was like, well, I can either not try and just definitely not get one, or I can try. You can see how it goes. So I kind of lost my mind for a little bit, and I set an alarm on my phone for 2:50 a.m. So I went to bed, got some sleep, just a tiny bit of sleep, and woke up to my alarm, got on my computer, and started going for it. I tried really hard to get it from GameStop, but it kept disappearing from my cart, and I'd go back, I'd try to re-add it, like, oh my god, this isn't gonna work. And then it goes live on Amazon, but it's only like the ones that have been scalped for, and they're selling for like $200. So I had almost given up. I saw on Twitter, like, check out ThinkGeek's direct link to their site, because I'd been trying ThinkGeek's site, but it was just saying it was down. So I click on their link on Twitter, and it brings me right to the product page, and there's no lag or delay or anything. You have to understand, all these sites were moving super slow because of all the traffic, so I'm shocked that it just loads. I'm like, so I quickly added to the cart and everything and checked out and went, and I got it. I got an order confirmation and everything. I was so pumped and surprised. I just couldn't believe it. So I was like, okay, this might be real, but also like totally might not. So I went back to bed, slept, and got up in the morning, and sure enough, I had a confirmation email, and ThinkGeek was saying on Twitter, like, yeah, if you got an email, you're good to go. So to wrap up that very long story, possibly not very exciting to any of you either, I got an SNES Classic. I'm so pumped. It's in the mail right now, but I'm gonna do a teardown video, but looking at it from like kind of a different perspective, and I'm gonna be kind of like looking at other pieces of hardware and like kind of looking at how the hardware is operating and how it's working. So kind of taking like that spin of it, I guess, like a little bit more kind of in line of what like I do on my channel. And even though I do this DIY stuff and I've made a RetroPie system and everything like that, and I use it actively, there is just something about that like Nintendo sanctioned hardware that has all the games on it, because I kind of hate seeing people in the DIY community rag on people for wanting an SNES Classic or getting an SNES Classic and just like saying blanket statement of like, oh, just build a RetroPie, and like, yeah, but also, come on. But that's gonna wrap it up for the work in progress project vlog for October. If you liked it, toss me a thumbs up. Leave a question or comments down below on anything I talked about in this video for upcoming projects or otherwise. Find me on social media, links will be down in the description, and you'll be seeing a lot of behind the scenes things on everything I discussed here today if you do follow me. Thank you for watching, consider subscribing for more content like this, and of course these projects that will be coming up. And until next time, this has been Blitz City DIY.